if you hear like the mic going, if you hear weird sounds, it's just that, and I apologize for that. I, it's been a while since I've done a video, so and using this particular mic, so you know that's probably why it's gonna sound a little weird this time, and I apologize for that. Hope you can deal with it. See you guys later. Love you guys. Peace. What's going on, everyone? Everyone. Oh, everyone. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. And I'm sure you're once again like, what is that? We haven't seen that in like 2 weeks. And I'm sorry. I know you guys. It's been a while. I don't think I've been able to do a podcast since the TNA show after after Sacrifice. And sorry about that. I really wanted to do one on Payback, but it turned out I had to work early in the morning the next day, and I'm like, what? What do you mean? What are you saying? I can't do my podcast? What? I mean, I could have did it, but it would have been a struggle the next day. I actually started to do it afterwards, but I never really got to. But we're reviewing Impact Wrestling. It just went off a few minutes ago for June 12th. This was the go-home show for Sacrifice. I mean, not Sacrifice, excuse me. Slammiversary. Too many S's going on in this building. But this was the go-home show to Slammiversary. This is Slammiversary really the 12th anniversary of TNA. So, let's get on into it then, since I'm back, and hope you guys are excited. If not, well, you better get that way, because I'm back anyway. Anyway, we got to start the show, we had the MVP EY segment, where basically there were, if EY wins 2 out of 3 of the matches he's going to have tonight, he'll get to choose a stipulation for Slammiversary. So, we got 2 out of 3 matches. At first, I thought he meant he was gonna face 2 people, and then he had to win both of those matches. Because at first it was supposed to be 3. He was supposed to win 3 of the matches. Then he's supposed to win. Then Kenny King was like, no, he can't even beat 2 of us. So then he had to try to beat 2 of them. And I did. There was a funny part in this segment where EY, well, actually MVP pimped out EY's show, and EY kind of just a little bit more his No Limit show on the Discovery Channel, I'm pretty sure. So that was fun to see. It's either Discovery or True TV. I think it's Discovery though. He was like, "This is not time for a cheap plug for No Limits on the Discovery Channel." Like it was pretty great. So basically, I was at first I was thinking it's gonna be a gauntlet match. That would be probably the hardest thing. Instead of giving him a rest in between each match, there would be a gauntlet match. But it turned out it was just 3 separate matches, which was completely fine. I honestly feel like Kenny King is kind of the outspoken one of the group, I guess you could say. Obviously, Bobby Lashley doesn't say anything, which, like I said, kind of brings his validity as a heel down a little bit. But I feel like, and he doesn't really do much either. He's kind of just a heel by association. But I feel like Kenny King is kind of the outspoken one, because he's always, he always has his little outburst. I feel like Kenny King's going to break away from the group first. Obviously we're going to see this group break up eventually. I really hope it's not like next week. I hope it's not like the Magnus Abyss team camaraderie type of thing where we saw them break up pretty much like in a month. Not even a month. I don't even think it was a month. I think they got together in the middle of the month, and then when the pay-per-view happened, they were together, and then the next episode of Impact they just separated. So kind of a weird type of thing. Abyss did show up tonight though. That was cool to see. It was cool to see Abyss. By the way, I don't know if you've been watching Impact Wrestling over the past few weeks, but last week we did see the return of Samoa Joe, who we haven't seen in a while. So, he's gonna have a match at Slammiversary, which is gonna be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure he's having a match against. I'm pretty sure it's Lashley actually, which would be a pretty good match to see. And Kenny King's going up against Austin Aries, so we're kind of seeing the anti-MVP people versus the pro MVP people going at each other. I feel like EY is really doing a lot better on the mic. Even though I didn't think EY was bad on the mic anyway. When you're over as a superstar, you being on the mic is you're pretty much going to be over with a lot of things you say. And also, I did notice that MVP was getting a lot of boos tonight, as far as when he came out for the main event against EY. So, you know, that was kind of cool to see. And as a wrestling fan, everyone knows that if you screw over the most over superstar, the most popular superstar in the company, you're probably gonna get booed regardless. And I guess that's the only real reason that Bobby Lashley's kind of getting booed. He's not even really getting booed at this point. He's kind of still getting cheered. So it would be interesting to see if Bobby Lashley went another way with this. And let's just say MVP does win at the pay-per-view, which I really hope doesn't happen this soon. Hope they kind of continue this feud to go out. Like, continue this feud, and then maybe eventually he'll win it. My actual hope is that MVP will win the title eventually, but not too soon, because we haven't seen. Eric Young is a good worker, and he's been in the company for a while, so it'd be nice to see him have the championship for a nice little bit. So basically, the next match, the first match of the night, was Eric Young versus Bobby Lashley. Basically, if he wins, I don't know if I said this already, but I'm gonna just repeat it just to make sure. Basically, if EY wins 2 out of the 3 matches that he's gonna have tonight, he's gonna basically get to pick the stipulation for the match. And if you think about it, I'm not gonna reveal it now, just in case you didn't get to watch it. I will reveal it at the end of the show. But if you think about it, what stipulation would be best to keep, make it pretty much a quote-unquote fair fight? There's your question of the podcast, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a simple question, but if you really think about it, you don't even have to really think about it. It's pretty obvious. But we had Bobby Lashley. When he went for his elbow drop, I swear I thought he was dropping the people's elbow. I mean, he might as well should have put some arm pads on, took the arm pads off, and threw the arm pads to the crowd, pandered to the crowd like The Rock does. I swear, when he came to actually drop the elbow, I swear it looked like the people's elbow, and it was the funniest thing ever. And honestly, I realized tonight, I wrote here that I like the Dominator better than the Power Slam finisher, but I realized that they're calling the Power Slam the Dominator now. I know in WWE he had he would lift him up in not even a torture rack position, but he would lift him up kind of like Sheamus does, but he would grab him around the waist and then throw him down to where the front part of their body hit the mat, and they called that the Dominator. I think that's a much more legitimate finisher than the Power Slam finisher. I don't know. I just don't feel like personally that the Power Slam finisher is legitimate. There's really nothing to it. I mean, it's just a Power Slam. He picks him up, runs, and throws him on the ground. And he goes down with him. It's a Power Slam. It's not really much to it, and I don't feel like it's a valid, a very valid finisher. I'm sorry. As I was doing this, I saw Greg Oden come into the game. Oh my God, Greg Oden is in the game. So I had a basketball lapse just now. I've been waiting for Greg Oden to come. I'm gonna get right back to TNA in 2 seconds. But I've been waiting for Greg Oden to play in a game, and I'm so excited to see it because everybody's like, oh, he's a bust, and he's not really a bust. He just kind of had injury problems. Not really his fault. He can't really affect that. Look at the hustle, though. But anyway, let's get back to TNA. Sorry about the little basketball lapse. If you're not a basketball fan, please don't turn the podcast off. But anyway, so basically he's got to win 2 out of 3, and I realized that after this match, I was like, wait a minute, so he's only gonna have 2 matches. He lost that match, so is that it? No, but so basically he lost to Bobby Lashley, and they were playing up and selling back this back injury that EY had. EY was nursing a back injury for the rest of the night. The doctor was telling him, "Hey, you shouldn't go out there. It's too risky." Pretty much. And Joe comes out again. Samoa Joe, the returning Samoa Joe from last week. He comes out. Excuse me. He comes out and he saves EY after he was about to get the crap beat out of him at the end of the match after Bobby Lashley defeats him. So basically, EY's got to win 2 more matches. 2 more matches tonight to pick the stipulation. Next, we got a Willow and Bram segment. Anytime Willow makes a promo, it's like the greatest thing ever. I love seeing Willow make promos, and I love even in the ring. I'm sure you guys have noticed this if you have had a chance to watch TNA. When Willow makes a promo, he does a little Willow voice, like the high pitched voice. But when he gets hurt in the ring, he'll be like, ah! Like he'll do the Willow shriek when he gets hurt. It's funny, and I'm glad that they've actually went a good route with the Willow character. We had a little Willow, Bram, and Magnus segment, as last week Magnus pretty much turned completely heel last week. Looked like him and Bram were going to have little miscommunications, but I mean, they were having that over the past couple weeks, so it looks like they were going to continue to have them. But Magnus decided against it, and he goes with the Bram way of doing things, or what they're calling the old Magnus. He's going to the old Magnus. Basically, I feel like Bram and Magnus, TNA does right now have a lack of tag teams, so I feel like Bram and Magnus could be a good tag team for the future. Especially considering they have none. I mean, a good tag team right now, but I don't think they're ready for the tag team picture right now. Basically, this whole segment, was to set up a Bram versus Willow, not Bram, Magnus versus Willow match at the pay-per-view. And, the pay-per-view. And actually, I was thinking, Willow was alluding to we. So I was honestly never expecting what actually happened. I was actually expecting for Willow to bring out, not bring out, but at the pay-per-view I was expecting Willow to come out as Jeff Hardy and then someone dress up as Willow, or vice versa. I mean, I guess it would be a lot easier for someone to dress up as Willow than it would be for someone to dress up as Jeff Hardy, I guess. But actually, he brought out Abyss, which was really surprising, because we hadn't seen Abyss Abyss. I'm adding T's to everything. We hadn't seen Abyss in a few weeks, probably since him and Magnus, the breakup or whatever. So we haven't really seen Abyss a lot recently, so it was nice to see Abyss back. We can, and the ironic thing is, Willow is like this monster type of character. I mean, he's not like a monster per se, but he's kind of like an uncontrollable type of character. So I think it would be also cool to see Willow and Abyss become a tag team and maybe even go after the titles. Obviously, Willow and Abyss have more validity to them as a tag team, giving their individual track records. Obviously both Magnus and Bram are young guys, and obviously with Willow and Abyss, you have that veteran savvy. So it'll be cool to see if they're gonna actually try to put Abyss and Willow in a tag team. To even give this Willow character a little bit more as well, as far as a little bit more of something to do. So basically, I'm thinking of two potential tag teams coming out of this feud right now. No matter how long it lasts, because we're not gonna get a tag team title match this Sunday. So And that just tells you we don't have really any tag teams in the division. We have the Wolves and the Bowmans right now, so they need to find some way to create some tag teams, some valid tag teams, and I feel like Willow and Abyss would be, be a good option. Next we had the first we had before the next match we had a EC3 promo, and this was actually a serious EC3 promo. He was really serious in this promo, which was good to see. I was excited because a lot of times EC3 comes off as a he's kind of he seems intimidating, and then when someone comes after him, he's like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna have a part of this. I'm a Carter." And they busted open a Carter last week. What are they doing? He's a Carter. The world needs them, right? The world needs them. I really didn't think his undefeated streak was gonna come to an end last week. I mean, it was just weird to me, especially in a first blood match with Ethan Carter being the one to bleed. It was kind of weird to me. I actually thought it might have been even Kenny King more than EC3. I really want to see, to be honest with you, I want to see EC3 go over Bully Ray at Slammiversary, because they are having a match, and as soon as I get to the EC3 segment, I'll actually let you know about what type of match that is, if you didn't get to watch it, and keep it going. But we got after that series EC3 promo, we had a Nux versus Robbie E segment, and last week we found out that Robbie E's a little bit, afraid of clowns. So well, he's afraid of clowns. So he was like itching and everything, and the Menagerie does their whole little thing. It's pretty much a squash match, and you could tell it was going to be a squash match because they kept the Menagerie's music playing the entire match. So you could tell from the beginning this was pretty much going to be a squash match. I'm curious to see who is the freak. Like who is he's got his face covered right now, so I'm curious to see who he actually is under the mask. Because he like a former TNA superstar or something like that. Is he like a former TNA superstar or what? I'm interested to see who the freak is. Pretty much Nux squashed Robbie E. He says he's not scared of clowns anymore, but he's still scared of clowns. Bah, 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 bah. He's still scared of clowns. Next we had EC3 talking to Spud in the back, and he's like, "Did you get who I wanted you to get? I wanted you to get this person for this pretty much like a talk show type thing that we're gonna have." So pretty much he did get the and we saw the person, and it was actually Brooke Tessmacher. They're now only calling her Brooke. They're not calling her Miss Tessmacher. They're not calling her Brooke Tessmacher. They're just calling her straight Brooke. I don't know why the entire world has decided to shorten everyone's names, but I guess maybe they're trying to make her a little bit more of a serious character. She was kind of serious before, but she was kind of just like the hot knockout that was just hot pretty much. I don't know. I don't know if I really say she had a lot of in-ring talent before. I don't really know. I don't remember a lot of Brooke Tessmacher. I just remember her being good looking. I didn't really remember her. She didn't do much in the knockout scene, let's be honest. But I do hope she comes back and does some more in the knockout scene, because I don't think we've seen enough of her in the knockout scene, and plus we have like 5 knockouts and we need some more, definitely. So it'd be nice to see what they're going to do with Miss Tessmacher. Pretty much, we had like a talk show. We had like a talk show pretty much with EC3 Spud and Brooke Tessmacher. EC3's like, I have the results, like he was like acting like Maury. He's like, Bully Ray is the father. And then he pulls up this picture. He's like, look at that nose, look at that double chin. Like it was pretty funny. Anything with Spud in it's pretty much priceless. I mean, you're pretty much gonna laugh when Spud's in the TNA ring, on the scene, anywhere near any type of rock star Spud, anything. You're probably gonna laugh. I would like to see Spud have some nice matches though. That would just be fun to see, especially we haven't seen any of the X Division title this pretty much month. Um, you know, along with the many complaints about TNA, one of the valid complaints I feel that is extremely valid is that TNA pimps out a lot of times their world title feuds, but nothing else really has a feud. I mean, you can even see that with the Knockouts title. You know, I guess Gail Kim and Angelina Love have history, but there's not really. I mean, can you really say that there's really a feud going on? No, they just established the number one contender tonight. Um, and you know, you think about it, the MVP versus EY match has been set since pretty much the end of, pretty much the end. I mean, pretty much the next show after Sacrifice. So they've had a lot of time to build on that. We haven't seen the X Division title at all, and there will be no X Division title match. And that kind of sucks because there are no three-way matches, there are no four-way matches, there are only single matches on the card, and there is, two title matches of the three. Wait, actually, is there four titles? World title, X Division. You got the world title, X Division, tag team, and knockouts. Oh, I guess there is four titles. I think I was thinking about the TV title, and I'm thinking that was. No, I mean, but it's just weird. Like, the X Division is probably one of the most exciting parts of TNA, and probably always has been. Even though I am interested to see how this feud with EY and MVP is gonna go, but we haven't seen the X Division title since. I mean, we did see a three-way match a couple weeks ago for the X Division title, and I guess they're trying to make up for not. They were trying to make up then for not defending it now, but then again, the X Division is one of the most exciting things, probably the most exciting thing in TNA. So it's kind of just confusing. Like, it's one of your best things. Option C wasn't created because the X Division sucked. Austin Aries couldn't rise from X Division to world title because the X Division has no talent. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what they're gonna do with the X Division. I was hoping they were gonna push the X Division a little more after the Sonata wins the title, the the dual promotion with Wrestle One, and that different type of stuff. And having new X Division stars like Tigre Uno and Sonata. Obviously, you still got DJZ. It's just going to be interesting to see. And I'm hoping, actually, they're not defending it because they're trying to find more talent to go with the X Division. WWE just recently released a couple of its people, so we could actually see some new stars go to TNA, but I don't know, unfortunately, if TNA has the money to pay these people. And, that's one of the worst things for a wrestling company. If you don't have the money to pay the superstars, for one, they get frustrated. For two, as you've seen, ECW and WCW both went down because of bad business. So TNA has to do what's best for business. So I mean, they really need to figure something out in paying their talent. I don't know if they need to try to go overseas a little more, kind of get some money so they can pay more talent. Because if you think about it, if TNA brings in more talent, people are more likely to come watch. People, if you're a big Kurt Angle fan, you're gonna come watch TNA because Kurt Angle's there. Not right now because he's obviously hurt, but you know what I'm saying. Like, if you were a big Sting fan, you come watch TNA. And it's always tough for these companies to come through, and the toughest part for especially a company like TNA is when you want to build. Like, I feel like TNA is kind of in a transitioning period as well, where they're trying to build their young stars into actual, legitimate stars. They're trying to build EC3. They're trying to build their Sonatas. They're trying to build Austin Aries. They don't have AJ Styles. They don't have Christopher Daniels. They don't have Kazarian. They don't have, Chris Sabin, they don't have the veterans they used to have. They still have some of them, but they're trying to build people like Nux. They're trying to build the people who didn't really get their chance in in WWE, excuse me, and they're trying to give them a chance because you got to think, once you make it to even if the best you can do is make it to TNA, you're still happy because you got to think people are still seeing your talent. If you're in RH, people aren't seeing your talent broadcast on a national television scene. So, I'm sorry I got on a tangent right there, but I'll talk more about that in my State of TNA video that I'm going to do really soon. But let's get back to what we were talking about. I just find it kind of upsetting that TNA's not this division at all. I mean, even King, like, if you want to go with the Authority versus other people versus other superstar storyline, then have Kenny King go up against Sonata or something of the sort. So next we had EY versus Kenny King in his second match of 3. Kenny King did a lot of things in this match. He really did. He did a lot of things. When he went to jump in the ring, it looked like he was twerking on the camera. I'm pretty sure the camera got wiped the lens off with his thumb or something. Kenny King went to get Eric Young from the top of the turnbuckle, and when Eric Young basically pushed him off, he did a cartwheel and caught himself. That was really cool to see. And he also did a cartwheel kick as well. That was also really cool. So, I feel like, Kenny King did lose his match. He lost by a pile driver that looked like it may have actually killed him. Because the pile driver, what happened is, how you put between, you brace his head between both of your legs so you don't break his freaking neck. And his head slipped out and was kind of bent. Like, his neck was kind of bent underneath. And, when he went down, but I mean, he was completely fine. He came in another segment later on. So, he was completely fine, still shaking that head at the end of the night. So, I mean, I guess it just looked good. I feel like by far this was the best Kenny King match I've seen. I love Kenny King. Great personality. He's a great heel because of his personality and because he can speak on the mic. So I love seeing Kenny King wrestle in the ring. He's got a lot of talent. Even Kenny, Kenny King as well. So I mean, you think about it, like Tina's got a lot of young talent, but people got to give it a chance, and like I said, I'll talk about that later. Next, we had a no more contenders match for the Knockouts title. It was Brittany versus Gail Kim versus Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne was so excited when she came out. She hugged the little boy, but if you go back and watch her entrance, there's a little boy trying to hug her, so she hugged the little boy, and there's a little girl, she just wants a high five, she doesn't want a hug, she's like, just give me the dappage right now, give me the dappage, come on. And Madison Rayne just blows this little girl. I'm like, you're gonna hug the little kid, but you can't give this girl the dappage. She deserves dappage, Madison. Dappage. She just wanted the dappage. But Madison Rayne blowing off a little girl was very hurtful. But it actually like Brittany was actually gonna win this match, and obviously, they want the young. The beautiful people want the young girl in the ring with Angelina Love when she's trying to defend her title, because it'll be probably a lot easier than going against a younger person. But the hairspray, once again, this is a lot of times how the beautiful people how the beautiful people's matches go. The hairspray to the face, trying to get Madison Rayne, trying to get Gail Kim, but it actually got Brittany. So Brittany loses this match, and typical BP doing things. So Gail Kim does win this match. She's the number one contender. We're gonna see that match at Slammiversary. Next we have the EY versus MVP match. Before the EY versus MVP match, MVP was talking to Brian Hebner, and he was like, you know, no interference during the match. So next we have EY versus MVP. Nothing really to note with this match. There's nothing really happening. It basically just set up MVP the loss by disqualification. EY, MVP's like, no matter what stipulation you put on, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be the champion anyway. It doesn't matter. So pretty much we had MVP losing by disqualification. So EY does get to pick his stipulation. EY's laid out. We're thinking, well, maybe we won't know the stipulation until Slammiversary. But EY, basically arises and he's like, well, I want this to be a fair fight. You still lost. He didn't say exactly this, but you still lost MVP. But we're gonna have a steel cage match because you got to keep him out. And obviously, steel cage matches are never as fair as they seem to be. As you saw with the Wyatt family, well, just as you saw with Bray and John Cena, it wasn't pretty much a fair match per se. So it'll honestly be interesting to see what's gonna happen. There will be a show. I'm hoping to get it up either Monday or Tuesday. I want to get it up early so people can watch it and people can leave their predictions if they want to. There will be a prediction show regarding Slammiversary, 12th anniversary of TNA. Really exciting. Like I said, I'm still in the minority. I am really loving TNA. Kind of loving TNA a lot more than I'm loving WWE. They're also maybe tomorrow. It's probably soon. It's probably gonna be the day after this video. I know I said tomorrow, but depending on when you watch this video, that's probably when it'll be up. It'll either be the day after this video, or it may be up right now, as I speak. Not literally as I speak, but as you're watching this video, there'll probably be a video regarding the recent people WWE released on the 12th of July. The 12th of June. So, maybe some potential talent TNA can pick up, or maybe some potential talent that may go to the indie circuits, may go over to Japan. You never really know. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on with this talent. But I'll let you know about this talent tomorrow in a separate video. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry, I know I haven't been here for a while. I'm not leaving you guys. I just haven't been able to do it because of work. I've been working pretty much every single day a wrestling show, every single day after a wrestling show. So, Raw goes off at 11. I can't stay up till like 11 or 12, trying to wait from 11, 12, or 1, trying to wait for my video to go up if I gotta work early in the morning. So what may start to happen is I may actually start doing my reviews the next day, and seeing how that works out. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you guys later. Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later. Peace.